What's up everybody, it is Pilot83 here. In today's video I'm going to show y'all my custom inputs for the VF1 Flightstick for flying helicopters. I will try to make this video painless and easy as possible. Some of y'all have asked what are my custom controls that I use for flying helis. I will show you them in this video. If you like them, feel free to copy them and use them as you like. Let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so before we even get started, first off the bat, something I will tell you to make your life a whole lot easier is make yourself a new profile. You can copy one and restart it. I'm going to use my heli main, but so you can go here, you can make a whole new one, whatever you need to do, but make you a whole new profile from scratch, clear all the inputs already in that profile. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. So we're going to start with the first 8 buttons on the bottom, left and right. Yes, I'm aware that the buttons do not match the actual input in the actual Microsoft Flight Simulator control area. So that is fine. We can figure all those out. But I will be listing what these say on them so y'all can follow along with this. So A through Y. Let's do those first. A, which is B1, that is my battery. And we are in the Mini 500, by the way. From there, B or B2, that is my alternator. Going down again, B3, that is avionics. Now this helicopter has automatic avionics when the battery turns on, but we can still hit it and trick it just like that. But if it did not have auto avionics with the battery, it would turn them on or off. Y, B4, that is my engine start. And I'm going to show you what all these are labeled as in the startup screen in just a minute. Continuing on, right side B5, beacon lights, B6, nav lights, B7, taxi lights if you have taxi lights. This one does not. B8, landing lights. Okay, now we're going to go to the start screen. I'm going to show you some important things on this, and we're going to go over some things as well. And I'm going to show you some big helps that will make your life a whole lot easier and make flying helicopters a lot easier. Some things that I just realized that I did not know. So let's go back to the start screen. Like I said, it'd be best if you start from scratch, so you don't have to clear out all the inputs. Alright. So first, I'm just going to go down the left and right side again, show you those, and then I'm going to go over some important things, you know, as far as your stick, movement, and all that, and how and what that needs to be assigned to, because I realized something that mine was assigned to that I missed, and I wish I had known, because it made flying a helicopter a lot easier now than it was before. So search by name. First one was battery. So basically all these we're going to look for toggle battery or toggle the things. So toggle master battery, that is what button A or B1 on the stick is. On here, like I said, they're labeled different. It is B5. Now, if y'all were not sure what a button is or what all is assigned to it, remember you can always click right here for search for input. Click right here under it, and it will tell you what's assigned to that button. Very helpful. And as always, you would just click this up here. Up here, it will say start scanning if there was already something there. Click it, and it's there, and you're good to go. All right. Moving on again. Alternator. Like I said, I'm going to show you all my controls. There's nothing else assigned to this besides what I show you. So that is my button B or B2. That is your toggle master alternator. That will turn on your alternators. X or B3 on the stick, which was avionics. That will be Toggle Avionics Masters, which you will assign that to if you choose to use that. It is joystick button 20. Again, that is XB3 on the stick. Why B4? That is not auto start. That is engine starter. And I really simplified this as I have just recently got to helicopters. As I get more into helicopters and get much more in depth, obviously I will have more than one helicopter profile, and they'll be much more in depth, and I'll have more tutorials coming. But for that, it'll be toggle master starter switch. Boom. And you will start up your heli. Okay. Moving on. The other side, B5 through B8 on the right side, is just lights. So I'm not going to go through all that. That's very easy to find. Obviously, if you're wanting beacon light, you would just search beacon. And like I said, you're going to search toggle for all of these. So just type in the light, and whatever one that says toggle will be the one you will choose. Like I said, mine was beacon, nav, taxi lights, landing lights. They're all toggle whatever the light is. So toggle beacon, toggle nav light, toggle taxi lights, landing lights. Show you landing lights. And we're about to get into the more in-depth stuff that you need to have your stick assigned to. It's going to make a big difference. So like I said, toggle landing lights right there. Good to go. Perfect. Okay, so real fast, let's get back to this. So, right here to our left, we have our collective. Now, in the Mini, the throttle and the collective are assigned to the same thing. Now, some of y'all, from questions I've had, were a little confused on how this works. So, the collective is not a throttle. A collective is a stick that changes the pitch of the propellers to gain, basically grab more wind to pick it up or put it back down. The sim has a bug where most of the ones that do have throttle on them, like this one, it was working. The update's about to come back out, but right now it's just double assigned. But there is a bug where a lot of helicopters, you can't. There's no way around it where you can assign the throttle and the collective together, which is not a big deal unless you are actually flying with a collective controller. I do not have one of those. That's definitely a PC only thing at the moment. That can be assigned. There is a helicopter throttle access option. It works on a couple. Some other helicopters, I realized that the throttle actually works off the prop pitch access, and then also I realized it also works off of the throttle, not throttle, the RPM increase decrease. So we're not going to get too much to that, but it's not something important right now. What you need to know is how to assign your collective, because that's what you're going to be using. So it works on the throttle like that. Now in reality, you'd want to pull this back. Let me pull this up a little bit for y'all. You would want to pull this kind of up towards you. That would be going up. But if you're like me, I'm so used to flying planes, I like pushing it forward. And let's get to where that is. So what you're going to search for to assign that is you're going to go to your flight control surfaces. Sorry guys, wrong one. Power management. You're going to go to throttle. Under throttle, collective access. So you will search in here under the search by name. You will search for collective or collective access. And you are going to assign your collective to your throttle. Now if you want it reversed in the way mine is, just click reverse access, so when you pull it back towards you, it will actually go up instead of down. Okay, simple enough. Now the whole throttle thing I was talking about, like I said, this one doesn't have it. I'll show y'all that on the next helicopter we're about to jump into, so I can show you some more in detail assignments I have. Maybe if we just type in throttle heli, it'll come up. No. Right here. helicopter throttle access. It does not work on this helicopter, like I said, and it doesn't work on most of them. So I know the sim said they're working on a fix for that. We'll see when that happens. But like I said, do not worry about that for now. Just have that signed to collective. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the next helicopter, and then I'm going to show you all something. I'm going to show you a few things that I got assigned that make your life a whole lot easier. And also a big thing I realized that nobody tells you. Hold in there. Let's jump helicopters. So let's continue on. We are now in the H125 by Cohen Sims, my favorite helicopter in the sim. You're probably asking why did I just start with this one in the beginning. That's because this one has a couple little bugs with the switches that cause some issues. For example, the engine start, because it has one here and it has one up here, and they have to be in unison for it to work, so it doesn't work right. So you have to manually click it, which is fine. I'd rather click it anyway, but that's why I could not show you that. So the actual Silex here, the stick, I noticed on mine that this was not assigned to my longitude and latitude. Oh, should have moved it. Well, the rotor up top, it was assigned to elevators and ailerons still. So it was still in a airplane flight model, and it would fly the helicopter, but it was not assigned to the right things. Why that was? No idea. That was in my helicopter one with the stick. So I'm going to show you all that, and I'm also going to show you all this real fast. I also have the rotor brake assigned. Now, you can assign this different ways. I have mine assigned to the trigger, so obviously the trigger is a pressure-sensitive button. So since it is a pressure-sensitive button, I prefer that. So when I squeeze it and hold it, it's going to slow down our blade. Let it go, it's going to come back. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you all these things I'm talking about right now, because these are pretty important. So first, let me show y'all what I'm talking about with my flight controls here. Alright, so my Silex, lateral and longitudinal, these were not assigned to this. These were assigned to ailerons and elevators. Did not know this. I noticed the helicopter flies a whole lot better when they're actually assigned to this, the correct thing they're supposed to be assigned to. Assigning this is very easy. Come up here, start scanning, push forward. Your longitudinal is going to be your forward and back. Lateral is going to be your left and right. So when you're ready to assign that, just move it to the left over here, and you can assign your lateral access. To find these, if you don't see them popping up, just search for, just type in Silex. All right. And both of those will come up. Now let's go to rotor brake. So like I said, I have my rotor brake assigned to a trigger. The Mini 500 also has a rotor brake, which you can definitely tell when you squeeze this that it's slowing the blade down. Alright, and that slows the blade down while not stopping the engine. So I just have it on rotor brake on, because when you let this go, it releases. So that's fine. Now if you didn't want it to work that way, if you wanted it to assign it to a input button, you would just go to toggle rotor brake, and when you press it, it would come on, and when you press again, it would go off. So that is very simple. Now something that I feel is probably one of the most important things of this whole entire setup is having your trim assigned. So you can trim your longitudinal and lateral trim. If we go back up here, flight control surfaces. Here we go. So you're going to need to search these by name. They will come up under trim. So you'll see longitudinal trim, increase. You'll see decrease, rotor longitudinal trim. You'll also see your lateral increase and decrease. I have all those assigned to my hat switch here. Longitudinal increase being is actually reversed for some reason in this helicopter. A couple of the other ones is the other way. But when I push this forward, it trims me forward. When I push this back, it trims my helicopter back. When I push it to the right, it trims me to the right. Push to the left, it trims to the left. And that's on my H1 switch right here. I have all 4 of those timers for the right, left, up, and down. And also something else that I have that's very important is rotor trim reset. Because when you're flying a helicopter, you're constantly using a lot of trim in flight to get it where you're not having to fight it as much to get it to go where you want it to go. And also you're needing to reset trim on the fly. So when I click my B16 button here, that automatically resets all my trim to neutral. Very, very helpful. So let me show you all this again. So when I push up on H1, decrease rotor steel trim. That's what makes me go forward. When I push down, it does that. Okay? And when you come up here and search this, it's going to say joystick POV up. Even though, so let me do this again. The stick is being very sensitive. It is a pain sometimes, guys. But it's going to be joystick POV up. Okay. I believe joystick POV up and joystick button 11, I believe, are actually the same thing. All right. But that's going to be for your decrease rotor trim. All right, let me show you all these in action. So if I go here to this, push this up, let it go. See that? How it's moving up and down. Then if I go right, left, then you'll see the button right here, trim release. That's the reset button. So if I click it right here, it sees already reset. But that's this right here. Though it's not clicking when I do it, that is what is still doing the same thing. It is resetting my trim. But see, that allows me to, on the fly, set my trim, making life a whole lot easier. Click B16. That is now cleared. You don't want to assign trim to this scrolly thing right here. It is much too sensitive. It's going to get you in an accident, guys. Now I have my H2 set to my look around free look. As always, it makes things a whole lot easier looking around. Let's move around like that. I can completely look around. Alright, and if y'all want to see how that's set up, that is very simple. Search by input. Alright, and you're going to have things like this: look right, external look left, and that's because things in the external are reversed in the inside. Is why that is. So let me actually go down that whole list of my heli so you can see all of these. There they are right there. See all that? And that is all your options, guys. And you'll notice right and left, the difference between those is they are both L negative access 6, but one is plus, one is minus. Okay, to the right is plus. To the left is minus. Same thing with up and down. It is access 7. One is going to be minus, one is going to be plus. So when you're searching for these, make sure it says that. So when I push up, it's that. When I push down, it's that. And that's how you have those things. And then my reset cockpit camera view, which sets me back to center, is B17 right here. Don't know why it's not highlighting right now, but that is what that is. It is this right here. It says B17, but it's actually button 19. So I'll show you that right here. That's that. So we come back in here, move around like this. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That is not it. Quick mistake. B17 is my switch inside, outside. First person, third person. When I push down on H2, that is my reset. So when I push the hatch switch in, that's my reset, my views. go back to that real quick. Yeah, so when I click this hatch switch in, that's button 19. Okay. Camera mode switches, that is my B17 right here. Boom. That's first person, third person. Real quick guys, something else I need to show y'all that I did not show you is your rudder access, which is going to be your rear tail rotor. Now, if you're using the stick and not rotor pedals, it's going to be your left and right turning of the stick. I use rotor pedals to control that, but that would just be assigned to the twist of your stick. Like I said, mine are assigned to the rotor pedals. Assigning that would just be, again, clicking, pushing, boom, and it's there. And that would be good. That's just rudder access. There's not, you ain't got to worry about that. That works just fine. Alright, now let's go ahead and see all this in action. We'll go ahead and trim back because I know she likes to pull forward right off the get off. So, hatch 1. Actually, I'm going to reset those. Alright. Little throttle from our collective here. Pull our collective up. Let's get going. Flying beautifully. We can reset our trim by clicking my B16. B17, go outside, take a look around. And we're flying beautiful, guys. Hope this video was helpful for y'all guys. The lever right here to my left, like I said, I have that assigned to the actual helicopter throttle access. Like I said, that pretty much for the most part doesn't work with really any of these helicopters. I'm waiting for the bug to be fixed, so that's why I did not cover that one. But like I said, I hope this video was helpful for y'all. Feel free to copy it, or let me know if y'all have any better suggestions yourself. I'm Pilot 83, guys. Good night. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you like this video and you feel like I earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button and that like button so you don't miss out. Until next time, guys, see you in the air.